Things I noticed about my Toyota Matrix after I purchased it was that the doors are very loud and hollow sounding. So when I tore them apart to do the speakers, I discovered that the insulation, sound insulation inside was minimal. That had some of this stuff in it, but much of the door was just sheet metal. So to address the issue, I went on Amazon and I found some car sound deadening material and ordered it. This was a box that had 9 sheets that are 18 inches by 36 inches, self-adhesive, and I installed it so far on one of my doors. This is the original door. This is the one that's had this car sound deadener installed. So one of my goals in deadening the sound in the doors was to improve sound quality of the stereo system as well. So to demonstrate the difference achieved, I'm going to record a clip first with the speaker in the door that was not deadened, and then second with the speaker that is in a door that did receive the sound deadening to illustrate the difference. I can hear a difference. I'm hoping it'll come through on the recording. Now this is the one that did receive sound deadening. To tackle this job, the tools that I needed were a Phillips screwdriver to remove screws and taking off the door panel, a flat screwdriver for removing the door panel. It would probably be better to use a door panel removal tool, but I don't have one. Also, a pair of shears to cut this material, a Sharpie, and a yardstick to lay out, rubbing alcohol and paper towels to clean down the surfaces involved, and a roller to apply pressure when using the adhesive to stick this component to the door. I removed the door panel before in my speaker installation videos, but just as a reminder, there's a screw here, a screw here. This panel pops loose and disconnect the wires, and then we have to pry loose the panel and pop loose the connectors that hold it, the plastic pieces. So here's what the inside of the door looks like. The stock insulation covers a couple of places. Also on the inside of the plastic panel there's one piece of foam right here, and that's what it comes with stock. Okay, I've removed the plastic, which opens me up some spots where I can apply sound deadening to the inside of the door. I'm also going to remove this panel here and this panel here so that I can get inside further. While I was at it, I removed this speaker. So I had already previously removed the mounts for this. The stock ones are riveted in and I had to drill them out. I've shown that in my video on the replacement of the rear door speakers. It's the same on all four if you're interested in that. So now that I've got it open to where I can get to the inside, I'm going to take that alcohol spray and spray it all over and wipe these down. You can see there's some grimy spots in here that are not going to allow an adhesive to stick very well. And there's dirt. So I'm going to try and remove the dirt. This adhesive from the plastic sheet, I'm not going to try and remove that. It would be too much work. And it's sticky, so it is going to help anyway. So if you skip this step, you're probably going to have problems with the adhesive staying on. That'll give you an idea of how much dirt and grime was inside the doors of my car, or one door of my car rather. So I think this step is essential, cleaning it. Once you get the surfaces clean, then get yourself a tape measure, which I forgot to mention, and start measuring the size of the pieces you want to cut out. Then once I've got it marked, I'll take my shears and cut them out. Check your fit before you remove the adhesive. Then after you remove the adhesive and stick it on there by hand, you can use the roller to make sure that it's stuck down really well all throughout. Also save these little scrap pieces, you'll use them elsewhere. One note, this aluminum foil kind of stuff on the outside of this, watch the edges, they can be kind of sharp. So piece by piece, I've completed the inside of the door. I didn't shoot for absolute perfection. I don't think it would gain me anything, but I did try to cover most of the surfaces. Next up will be the outer surface, at least as compared to where I'm looking at. And the main thing I'm going to watch out for here is things like these bolts, electrical connectors. I'm going to work around those. I'm not going to try to do it in one piece like some folks do. I'm not sure that it would be worth the trouble. So I've got it partway done. I've reinstalled the speaker. I'm going to cover up these holes, but before I did, I wanted to reinstall the speaker because the screws I've got use nuts on the back side. Made it a little easier. Also, when I've covered up holes that I might need to access for repair work, I have marked them, and spots where I think things might rattle, like this electrical connector, I've put a little extra pieces of the deadening material to try and prevent rattles. Also of note, where there's cables and things like that, I've tried to put the material underneath them, and then in this case I've got a panel that goes back over the top of them. I've installed it where the cables make contact to prevent rattles there as well. So I've got it now installed over pretty much all of the interior surface. As you can see, I've tried to leave screw holes, bolts that I might need to work on later, and of course the panel mounting holes uncovered, and then other things that I've covered up I'm marking so that I will know later when I have to work on it. So this should be a major improvement to the noise in my car, and it also improves the sound of the speakers because I've in essence created a speaker enclosure now. It's here and I can't see how it could possibly hurt. I've reinstalled the factory sound deadening materials as well. Before reinstalling this trim panel, I'm going to take a look. See, that one looks a little broken, and replace the bad connectors here. I got mine from a junkyard. You can probably find them new somewhere. This is the driver's side door. It was done on a different day, so there may be a little bit of different artistic interpretation here, but it is working effectively, and I'm going to reinstall the factory insulation here as well. Also installed some on the rear hatch. I've tried to hit the flat surfaces the most, as that's what I'm told makes the biggest difference, and I've now run through all 9 of my sheets, so I'll take it out on a road test and compare the decibel readings that I get of road noise with what I took before I started on this process. After my test drive, it looks like I've got readings that indicate about a 2 decibel decrease in road noise, but I really can hear it, and it makes it sound much better. The speakers have much improved mid-bass, and I think it was a worthwhile effort. It took quite a few hours to do. It wasn't particularly expensive, so as a dollars per improvement, I would say it's pretty high, but it is a lot of work.